The truth always comes out. Hello, my fam. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and several Morgan Wallen updates in one video. As I'm sure you've heard by now or seen, his recent appearance on Saturday Night Live has been much talked about. At the very end of the show, where it's customary for the host, the musical guest, and the cast to exchange pleasantries and wave their goodbye in a short segment, he didn't stay for the end of that short segment. He hugged her and scooted off real quick. Then he posted on his IG a picture of his private plane and captioned it, "Get me to God's country." Well, now we know exactly what happened on SNL that week, and several people involved with the show have also spoken out publicly. Josh Patton, a writer on SNL, posted this photo of a Krispy Kreme donut truck on his social media, and he captioned it, "Get me to God's country." That's funny. Yum, I love the original glazed. Mwah! Kenan Thompson got people talking on social media with his response to Morgan Wallen walking off abruptly. He was like, that's my facial paraphrasing. Kenan has been a cast member of SNL since 2003, making him the longest running cast member ever in the history of SNL. He knows you don't do that. I can't recall a single other musical guest or host abruptly ending that last bit and walking off. For their part, Morgan Wallen's team has already come out in the defense saying he had a great time. That's just how he rehearsed. Well, Kenan has something to say about that. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Kenan says, "I don't know what goes through people's minds when they decide to do stuff like that. I don't know if he understood the assignment or not, or if he was really feeling a certain kind of way." Plus, if he was in a hurry to leave, he could have left side stage, not breaking camera, meaning walking past the camera and through the audience. It seemed like he didn't even want to get near the cast. They're not God's country. He says he definitely paid attention to what was going on. Kenan saying, "You see somebody before you get a chance to say hi or say good job or anything like that, they just dipping. I thought maybe he had to go to the potty or something." It's definitely a spike in the norm. We're so used to everybody just turning around and high-fiving us. Everybody's saying, "Good job, good job, good job." So when there's a departure from that, it's like, I wonder what that's about. Kenan reveals he never actually met Morgan Wallen this week, nor did he even meet him the previous time when Wallen was on the show back in 2020. He did note that the country superstar seems like a complicated individual, I guess. The shade! However, look at this. I was mistaken. He clearly knows, because he's the longest running castmate in SNL history. Kenan reveals Prince did the same thing. I'm not saying Morgan Wallen is Prince, but we weren't surprised because Prince was notoriously kind of standoffish. It's just how he was. So we just thought, okay, now he's gone back into fantasy land. And he did have some thoughts on the whole God's country of it all. Kenan says, the God's country of it all is strange because it's like, what are you trying to say? You trying to say that we are not in God's country? We're not all in God's country? We're not all under God's umbrella? That's not necessarily my favorite, but whatever. Moving on, we got a new show. We got Jack Black this week. We're here talking about GERD. We will be fine. Additionally, a prominent lip reader, Nicola Hickling, reveals her professional opinion of what Morgan Wallen said to Mikey Madison before he left. Thank you all so much. I had a wonderful time. But did you? Did you really? He didn't stick around for the after party, which is a really hot ticket in New York City. Everybody wants to go. Well, almost everybody. Not him. However, today, multiple outlets are reporting what really happened. He's got no sense of humor. He's also ungrateful. In my opinion, both Variety, a respected industry trade publication, and the New York Post's Page 6, who are almost usually solid when it comes to reporting about New York institutions or New York celebrities, Variety and Page 6 are both reporting the following. He was no fun. Morgan just did his 2 songs on SNL, and that's it. SNL wanted him to be more involved. They even wrote one skit that they thought for sure he would agree to do because that's the norm. The musical guests often, or not always, but most of the time, a lot of the time, are in some skit in some way or another. Not always live, because not every musician is comfortable with that. And this one skit was a pre-record that they wanted Morgan to appear in. Did you guys watch it? It was called Big Dumb Line. It was pretty dumb, but funny at the same time. Dumb and funny. It was a song, you know, SNL does songs every once in a while, about tourists in New York City waiting in line for dumb things. Like pallid, pizza and salad. Or fandy, fish and candy. And Morgan Wallen turned it down. He said, nope, I'm not gonna do it. And according to both Variety and Page 6, the show then reached out to Joe Jonas at the last minute, who agreed to do it. He was in the skit. It was something so quick. Blink and y'all missed it. I mean, not really. It was a cute cameo. Joe sang like 10 seconds. It wasn't long, and it wasn't awful. It wasn't the funniest thing ever. It wasn't the most awful, unfunny thing either. A source tells Page 6 they had hopes he would do the pre-tape and perhaps more, but no joy. However, once again, sources close to Morgan say, quote, he did the same thing for the dress rehearsal. Walking off, he was done. But, like I said, the truth always comes out. He was difficult, and another insider says he was, quote, not super friendly on set. What's the point of doing SNL if you're not gonna have fun? Try something different. Don't be such a Morgan Wallen. And that, my friends, I think wraps it all up. We now fully understand everything that happened. And now we need to fully discuss in the comments section. See you there.